These are not people that are coming from another country that just decide to come into our community and kill each other. Not only that, but our young men, the way that they are killing each other, of just actually walking up to someone, shooting them in the head, not running, but walking away. And actually having the community sit back and watch this happen. When you're sitting in your car, when you're looking out your window, when you hear a gunfire, you just say, oh, another person got shot. We have desensitized ourselves to what is happening in our community. We have families literally afraid and are prisoners in their own homes. There is no way that a parent should be a prisoner in her own home, afraid of her children. And again, parents, if you have children that you know are illegally doing things that are not right, call the police. Call the police. In our community, should I finish? But in our community, if there's a gunfire, call someone, because the police will not know what area to go to if we do not call the police and let them know that there's gunfire in our community. So for families and to parents, and especially single mothers, I would say take time out with your children, know what they're doing, spend time with them, and ask support from the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Phyllis. And I'd like to ask you, Carmen, do young people recognize, and we've heard it in the comments, do they recognize that there are consequences to their actions? That instead of responding, they react to a situation. What are the consequences?
In our court system, of course, we have a continuum of different approaches that the probation officers have to follow in order to educate the children on the consequences that they'll continue to see if they don't respond. Children who are involved in our system, of course, the consequence is probation when we become involved based on an offense that they may have committed. So a probation officer is assigned to monitor the case, and they are informed and educated and directed to respond to the child's behavior appropriately. And we have responses that we create in our organization in order for us to be thoughtful in that process as well, but in order for them to learn that their behaviors warrant some consequence. So, for example, some of the behaviors that a child may exhibit are that the child, and these are non-delinquent behaviors, they're not going to school, they're not monitored, they're not complying with their curfew, they're being disrespectful in the home. These are a lot of the behaviors that prompt then the child to maybe do something that may be considered delinquent. The probation officers have a responsibility of going to the home and remind the child that those actions may prompt serious consequences that the court, as a judge, may need to respond to. So they'll create a structured activity for the child by way of the probation order. So the children will have to participate in some pro-social activities. They'll have to be in school. That's part of their probation order. There are other services such as clinical interventions that they may need to participate in. So we try to provide a comprehensive program in structured form for the child and the parent to receive those needed services in the home or in the community, whatever that individual and family may need. So we try to be responsive and also teach them that their behaviors may warrant additional consequences.
Thank you, Eric. You wanted to...
Yeah, I wanted to comment on what he said. You know, you have kids that they don't care. I mean, that's everything she said is a plus. You get a program to get in the juvenile program, you know, so that's taking me out the neighborhood. That's giving me extracurricular stuff while I ain't doing nothing. You know, half the time the kids who are in the stuff, I just, hey, I'm at rock bottom. So whatever I do is a plus. If I stick up and get some money, it's a plus because I get up money. If I go to jail, it's a plus because I'm gonna get my 3 meals. You know, I'm hungry out here. Kids are hungry and they tell you, I'm gonna get you before you get me. You know, so before I even give him a chance to even think about it, if I hear a word on it, I'm gonna get him. You know, and that's they tolerance level is just gone. Like, man, I don't have, it's not a medium where someone can come in and talk to me about it. So if juvenile, that's nothing. You know, the average juvenile detention center get like $50,000 a kid. You know, so it's easy to house them and to have me in a program. Now I'm doing more. I get the juvenile program will give them a meal, give them something to do. You know, where I ain't outside doing nothing. So hey, it's cool. I'm in this program.
So there are incentives to do the wrong thing.
Right. It's more incentives. It's more of a plus. It's more of a come up on the negative side than it is on the positive side.
So that's the challenge that we're facing.
I mean, yeah.
Looking at that reality.
But that's exactly how it is.
Looking at that reality.
You know,
Yeah.
I look at my cupboard, ain't nothing up. But if I go do something negative and take the risk of either getting what I'm trying to get or getting locked up, them two pluses. It's a win-win
Compared to where
situation
you're-
for me. So I'm gonna keep my gun.
Thanks, Eric. Thank you. Right now, we're going to switch over to the podium. I want to ask Wanda Taylor, University of Chicago. You know, as Eric was mentioning those things, what are some steps that parents can take to protect their children?
As a parent of 5, things that I just used to do was just basically tell my children the truth. And just in terms of the violence and sending them home and sending them to school, back and forth to school. Be truthful about the level of violence that's going on. Be truthful about what's going on out there. Be truthful. If I can't come home and bring home the bread, I have to tell the truth. But it's about decisions, what you do behind that. You know, if you go and still stick up somebody, baby, you might go to jail and mama can't come and get you. There's nothing mama can do after that. So the first step would be to just be truthful with your children about daily life and what's going on. Secondly, I would tell parents to keep your ears and eyes open for things that your children are doing, saying to you. They come back, they know first what's going on outside in the street. They know first what's going on in school. So when they come back and talk to you, you have to listen. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes they say things you don't want to hear because it's hurtful to you. But you have to take it, you have to listen, you take it in, and you do what an adult do. If it's something you can't handle, you go seek help. You go look for help. And you keep looking for help, because some of the things that parents run up on are roadblocks, red tape, but you keep looking for help. You keep crying out until somebody hears you, because what happens is what's happening now. You get the violence, you get the dropout. And lastly, you learn, you teach your children, or you learn how to, you try to build relationships with people. That's where your help is. You go out as a parent, if you're not working, go up to the school. You go join those organizations. I'm in several organizations, the Peer Parent Education Network. We're just a bunch of parents from the Grand Boulevard area where we're trying to learn about the different policies in the schools, what's supposed to be happening, what's supposed to be going on in the school. I'm part of Gear Up, gaining early awareness and readiness for undergraduate programming for the kids who do get it, who make it, who trying to go and just need a little help to get through the admissions process of college. There are some kids who are doing what they're supposed to do. Let's give them a clap, a handshake, because there are some kids who are doing what they're supposed to do and their parents are trying to help. So those are some groups that I can just mention quite I can go on and on. But I just want, parents to know all is not lost. This is not the end, and there are so many things that we can be doing, but we have to learn how to reach out. So another step, reach out, look for help. If you're overwhelmed, look for help. And the parents who have been doing this for a while, and and you see somebody who is overwhelmed, be their help. Go and help them. You know the lady who has the son who's robbing people. You know who they are because you avoid them. I'm saying be a bigger person. Go take that first step and say, girlfriend, what can I do to help you? I know you need help.
Thank you, Wanda. Just want to let our audience members know it's time for questions from you, so you can go find a microphone. And right now I'd like to have Chief Scahill, from a police perspective, what are some other things that parents can do to protect their children?
Well, I think what the young lady just said right away, one of the things is knowing what's happening in your own household. So many times parents, and a lot of it has to do with they're very busy, or it's a single parent household, and they're not able to spend as much time with their children as they would like. But I think they need to set the priority that they have to know what's going on in there. Who are their child's friends? So often, I was a youth officer for 7 years, and so often you would ask parents, especially like if a child went missing, and you would ask the parent, who is their best friend? I don't know.